Hello everyone, so today's custom figure showcase isn't so much a custom figure showcase as a custom prop showcase. But before we get on to this, I'd just like to address what's become of my other customs and things that I've been working on. When I make figures, I tend to pre-record the making process and then film the final review piece later on. If you've seen my most recent update video, you'll know that the majority of my works in progress and other things are still in Sweden, whilst I'm back in the UK. If you want to know more, then please go and watch that video for more information. Unfortunately, for the majority of my upcoming customs videos, I have only recorded the making of process, and I have yet to record the final review. And until I get my figures back, I cannot record that final review piece, and so that is why my works in progress that you might have currently known about will not be coming until a later date. However, during this time of being back in the UK, I have kept myself busy by making one or two other small things. So whilst you will have to wait for a while to get back to my proper schedule, there will still occasionally be customs coming up on my channel in order to keep the channel active. And with that in mind, let's get on to today's custom video. So this is of course a custom War Doctor Bandolier prop. Those who follow my Twitter will know that I've been putting together my first ever cosplay of that of the War Doctor, and I do plan to do a video in future showing off the full costume, which is partly why I'm not wearing the full costume now. That, and it is actually quite hot today and I don't want to be wearing a big thick leather coat indoors. As far as the costume goes, I already had pretty much everything I needed, but after doing some research, it seems that one thing that a lot of people miss out on when doing a War Doctor cosplay is the bandolier. Now that's not to say that people leave it out, as it is a big part of the costume. It would be fairly obvious if it was missing, but what I've noticed that people just tend to use a normal bandolier. So finding myself in the same situation, I decided to have a crack at adding on all of the plates and extra bits to the bandolier to make it look like a more accurate prop, and personally, I think it's come out really well. The bandolier is an old one I had myself that I bought from a local hunting shop as part of an old fancy dress. I thought about buying a new one and buying a cheaper one for fancy dress, but I thought as I still have this one and it's proper leather, it would be better to use this one. The plates themselves are just made from a single piece of black leather stripping for the backing, and then the actual plate is just a simple piece of plasticard that I have sprayed silver and then weathered. Then to fix the plates to the bandolier itself, I have used leather strips to intertwine and wind around the bandolier, obviously leaving enough space for the War Doctor Sonic still to fit in and to be taken out. And then lastly, I've given it an overall weathering with some black and brown paint just to dull it up a bit. It did look quite good in its nice pristine condition, but I thought it would just look a little bit better if it was weathered like the actual prop in the show. It's actually a very simple thing to make, however getting all the parts and putting it all together is the arduous part, but like customs and I'm sure many other cosplays that people have done over the years, putting in the work is really what makes it worthwhile in the end. However, before I go, you may have seen it in the thumbnail, there is one extra thing that I'm sure people will be very excited about. In order to raise some extra funds to get my things back from Sweden, I'm going to be making 5 more of these to sell on eBay. They will be individually made to order, and you can find a link to the eBay auction in the description. However, just before you rush over there to buy one, I just want to raise some important points. Firstly, this exact one here is not for sale. As I said, I will be making them to order, so they will be individually made. This one is staying in my personal collection. Secondly, before you buy, please familiarise yourself with the terms and conditions listed in the auction description. And thirdly, if you have come across this video sometime after it was uploaded, please don't just ask in the comments below if these are still for sale or if there are more of them available. Check the eBay link. If the auction is still active, then they're still for sale. If it's not, then they're gone. I only plan to make 5 of these, so once these 5 orders are gone, they are gone. And so that is pretty much it for this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. And be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. There is an exclusive webcomic and rewards for people who support it, and the funding generated by my Patreon helps me fund future videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.